So could you name one lesson or idea from abroad that's helped you or your colleagues?
I think there are many things we learn from other countries, which is why we need to be curious and talk to our colleagues in other countries. We've been very influenced, as you've probably read, by the work that was done in the UK on deliberology during the Blair government. Very interested in what's going on in the UK on what work centres. I've been quite taken by the work in Singapore on planning and futurology and scenario planning. A lot of the state governments in the United States are terrific at the use of social media in service delivery and emergency management. So there are quite a few examples of where we've been able to take an idea and see whether it can be transplanted or imported into Canada.
Thank you. Does it work the other way? Are there projects or innovations from Canada that might be valuable to your peers overseas?
Well, obviously my peers overseas are the best judge of that. I think that some of the work we've done on workforce issues is work that I'm quite proud of. The engagement we did right across the public service under the rubric of Blueprint 2020 stands out. A very deep engagement with public sector workforce in the federal system on what kind of public service they aspire to work in has given us a rich menu of ideas moving forward. And I think the work that we're doing on mental health in the workplace is part of a societal change to make mental health issues more discussable and a higher priority. And I think we are moving towards the front of the pack on mental health issues. Okay.
How can we improve the ways in which senior public officials around the world sort of work with and learn from their colleagues overseas?
Well, it's certainly been my experience that opportunities to get on a plane, go to another country, stay in a hotel, attend conferences are going to be few and far between. We should try to push to keep some time for that. I've always found these encounters very, very personally and professionally enriching. The reality is I think we're going to have to be very creative about the use of online tools and forums that can connect people that are in different locations to meet and talk with each other, whether they're in large conscience formats or one-on-one conversations. So I think essentially we're going to have to go digital.
Yeah. Now, what are the biggest global challenges facing Canada's federal civil service over the next few years?
You can go to my website and read my report to the Prime Minister of Canada on the state of the public service. The one that I would highlight, which is probably not unique to Canada, but is the one which preoccupies me the most, is demographic change. As a result of not taking in a lot of people in the 1990s, we have a bulge of baby boomers. About 40% of our workforce is over the age of 50, and we have a defined benefit pension plan, which makes it mathematically insane to stay past the age of 60. So we're simply going to have a very, very large exodus of talent and knowledge. And my preoccupation is to make that as orderly as possible so the values and knowledge of the baby boomers, myself included, are passed on to the millennials.
Thank you. Finally, what's your favourite book?
Well, in this context, I'm going to give you two that have very influenced my thinking and my approach to things, or at least the questions I ask. One is from a few years ago. It's called Why Nations Fail, and I think the author is Darren S. Amoglu, and it's about the importance of inclusive societies. The other, since I'm a lapsed economist by training, is Daniel Kahneman's book on Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow, which is really about the intersection of psychology and economics. And if you are an economist, it will change the way you think about the world.
Thank you very much indeed.